election. You know.
All right, hey.
I just want everyone to know that we want reform, but this is the wrong way, and doctors are against it.
Hey, I just thought I'd come down here and stand where you stand and look up there where you've been looking. This is Congressman Steve King from Iowa. And I can tell you that it lifts our spirits when we can hear your voices echo through the halls of Congress. It lifts our spirits. Now, Congressman Stupak just finished up with what they call a colloquy. And that's where you justify something that you've done. Well, it can't be justified. And so he's got to live with that for his life, and maybe, just maybe, he will have a second thought on this thing. The votes on this, it's up to this point of who knows. Nancy Pelosi has been saying for over a week that she has the votes, but we know, at least within the last couple hours, she didn't have the votes. At least up until Bart Supak held his press conference. Now, we're pushing back the other way. And what I'm saying is, an executive order cannot reverse the law.
Yes!
And I will tell you further that I know that because when I was a state senator, then Governor Vilsack of Iowa issued an executive order that set aside the Code of Iowa and added language to it. It gave special protection for sexual orientation and gender identity. That was his executive order. All of our lawyers told me I was wrong. Even the Republican lawyers told me I was wrong. And I went on the radio with 50,000 watts and said I'm gonna sue the governor to defend the Constitution. And the announcer said, "Well, do you have the support of the legislature?" And I said, "I don't care if every other legislator thinks it's a bad idea. I don't need their approval. I'm going to sue him anyway." And now,
Thank you, Patriot!
and now that former governor of Iowa is now the Secretary of Agriculture. His name is Tom Vilsack, and the case of King versus Vilsack is in the books. We won, the people won, the Constitution won, he lost. You cannot amend the code, the federal code or the code of any state by executive order because it's the people that rule. That's the difference.
Say that again, please.
You cannot amend the federal code or the code of any state. State law, no federal law can be amended by executive order of the governor or the president. Because it's the people that rule.
The last sentence.
Yet our founding fathers envisioned this when they set up the three branches of government, that some are taught that they're three equal branches. They were not designed to be. Our founding fathers believed that the judicial branch would be the weakest of the three.
Yes, sir.
And they also believed that the executive branch of government would be jealous of the power that it had, and that the legislative branch of government would be jealous of the power that it had, and they would actively defend the power that was vested in each branch in the Constitution. Well, we've gotten a little lazy on that, and we've lost a little bit of our understanding of the Constitution, but in the end, the Supreme Court can rule what they can rule. The executive office, the president, can write his executive orders to the end of the earth, but finally, it's the people ruling through the Congress that run this country. It's you that runs this country.
Congressman Bart, what's your name and what's your hometown and state?
Okay, I've just been asked. I'm Congressman Steve King. I live near Kyron, Iowa.
Okay, go
I
Iowa.
represent the 5th District of Iowa. And first, you think that we can't win tonight? Some people think that. You don't think that. You're here. And it doesn't have to be a miracle. It can be an intervention.
Yes, sir.
And I believe we had an intervention in Massachusetts that elected Scott Brown. And I wouldn't call it an intervention when the University of Northern Iowa beat Kansas last night, but it's pretty good. Now, I love the people from Kansas, but that's a miracle. God didn't ration us to one miracle a week or a weekend. He can give us an intervention and a miracle anytime he chooses, and he's decided that he wants to test us.
Yes.
And so we're tested. And we're standing up to this test, and we're going to stand, and we're going to pray, and we're going to chant, and we're going to cheer.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to stand proud all the way up to that vote and beyond. And whatever comes out of that vote in that hour that's ahead of us, or 2 or 3, and 10 o'clock or so is what I think is about the time. Whatever comes out, I will tell you this. I'm going to come back down here, and I'm going to stand with you. And we're either going to cheer and celebrate, or we're going to together pledge that we're going to go forward to make this country an even greater place than it is today. And we're not going to let these socialists shut us down.
A message, please. Let them know it's not just about abortion. It's about our Constitution.
We know that. So I wanted to come down and stand among you and say thank you. You're the awesome American people. God loves you. I love you. I'm going to go back up there and jump back in that fight, but I'll be back down here. If not before, I'll be back down here at the end of this fight. I'm going to go up there and engage in there where I can do some good too. Thank you. Keep your voices up. God bless you.
We're coming down here. It's our spirits as much as we do yours.
I'm coming back.
Sending them down.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Can you tell them that there are doctors that are against this bill?
I don't know. I will tell. Yes, I'm ready for reform. I'm ready for reform. I'm here. Thank you.
Thanks, you just gave us 60.
You know what Congressman Steve! Thanks for coming down.